Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me on the Tonya Hoffman's fabulous TV show. And I'm so excited that you're here today listening. Of course, I am Tonya Hoffman. This is my fabulous show. And of course, I always have a fabulous guest, like our incredible guest today is Akram Alashari. Hey, Akram.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Yay! So you're going to hear all kinds of great things from him and about his book and everything, and you're just going to adore him because that's the kind of people that I have on my show. And but remember, we would love to have you on my show. And I know some of you are like, "What?" But you can. So just simply go to Public Speakers with an S, Association, all spelled out.com to find out how you can be on my show, how you can be on the next virtual summit. We've got openings still for that one. And then also for other incredible opportunities to get out there and change lives from the front of the room. So I am so excited to introduce y'all today, my friend Akram, who, it's kind of like one of those things that happens in today's society, right? People love connecting people. And now I don't even remember who connected us, but it's one of those things that people are like, oh my gosh, you need to know this person. I'm like, of course I need to know them. So now I want you to know him. So Akram, tell us a little bit about you and what you've got going on.
Well, first, thanks so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. It's my pleasure to be here. What I do is I actually am a surgeon, and I specialize in trauma surgery and surgical critical care. So that's any type of acute, injury or illness, whether it's a stabbing, shooting, car accident, fall, assault, self-inflicted wounds, whatever it is, and all of the surgical patients that are in the intensive care unit. So it's, the sickest of the sick. And, working with them and really saving lives and doing, emergency general surgery has really, given me a lot of perspectives. I've really learned a lot. And what I decided to do is, instead of just saving people with my hands and saving their lives, I want to also save them with my words. And I started speaking and going out and, talking to people about how they can really reach their full potential and how they can overcome challenges and difficulties, because, we all face those.
Right. I think that a lot of people, they get to the point where, and you probably see it a lot being in that kind of critical, you got to get help type of stage of the family relationships, the friend relationships that a lot of times are either there or not there or shouldn't be there. Do you find that?
Yeah, I've seen it where, some of the things you learn, when my patients are going through really hard times is they really get to find out who their real friends are. They get to find out, who are the family members that really care about them, the ones that will take time out of their day to come visit them in the hospital, who spend time with them. And, you can really nurture that relationship. And then I find that having that support system, having them by your side really does help them recover.
Yeah, I'm sure. Do you find that there's one really kind of magical, kind of equation that helps people more than others?
I have, I've seen where it really comes down to mindset. I've seen people have, get affected by the same type of surgery, same type of illness, or same type of diagnosis, and they respond very differently. And it really comes down to the extent to which they feel they're in control of the situation and the extent to which they empower themselves. So, for example, some people will get diagnosed, with a condition, and they feel completely helpless, completely out of control. They feel disempowered. And then what ends up happening is they tend to just have this downward spiral. Whereas others who feel, well, you know what, this isn't stronger than I am. I'm bigger than this. I can come through this. They feel empowered. They feel encouraged. And they actually end up doing better because of it. They actually recover quicker. And their immune system, it's even been shown, your immune system, responds to the way you think and the mindset that you have. And so, I think it's vital. And I'm really trying to, spread this message to as many people as possible.
I love that because I see that in just people's businesses, people that are successful is because they have the mindset that they're going to be successful. They're not just trying to see if it works. They actually go out and make it work. No matter if there's a failure or something that doesn't work, they keep moving on until they find that equation that works. So it's really kind of similar in the health arena, right? They just kind of keep trying things until they find something, that formula that works. But it's the mindset that goes first.
Yeah, I agree completely. Even from that, from our standpoint, we get a patient that comes in, critically injured, bleeding to death, and it's up to me ultimately to orchestrate a whole team of people, nurses and doctors and technicians, all trying to help the patient, and it's very chaotic, very hectic, and you really have to be in a special state of mind to be able to do that, because if you start to falter, you make mistakes, you forget. Whatever happens, that's the life of the patient. And so, being successful, really, reaching your goals really takes a lot of determination, a lot of commitment, and really that peak state of mind where you're in a state where you feel emboldened to really take action and go after what it is you need to go after.
Yeah, I know when I had cancer, people were like, "You're just so happy," and I'm like, well, the doctors say I'm going to be okay, so why should I be worried? And people are like, well, they're just saying that to make you feel better. I'm like, well, it's working, so don't be a downer.
I agree. The great thing is that we can really choose and decide the way we want to feel about things. We can choose to be happy, or we can choose to let this bring us down. We can choose to imagine ourselves living through it and overcoming it, or we can worry about it and let the anxiety, build up and bring us down. We have that control, but a lot of us maybe don't know it, or we just relinquish that control, and then we let our negative imaginations just spiral out of control.
Yes. I know when my daughter was 12, 13, and girls changing, and she was so emotional, and we kind of got distant, for about a year. And then someone says, "Well, you have a choice how you want your life to be." And I'm like, "I wonder if that works with a 12-year-old, And so I just, even though she said she didn't want me, in her room, and I just switched it in my mind that we had a great relationship. And I just started saying simply, good night. And then, just acknowledging that we were going to bed. And then in the morning, good morning. And when she came home from school, so glad to see you're home. And just the interaction started making her feel like she was loved. And a lot of times we distance ourselves from people because we feel them distancing instead of just doing something about it. And I think that's a lot with probably your industry as well, right? Those who are like, well, you take care of your illness. I'll see you when you're done, versus the people that are engaged, and they may not be able to help at all, but just that they're there makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point. It's really about kind of like the empathy aspect of things, putting yourself in their shoes, having that outward mindset, not just kind of thinking about yourself and how you feel about the situation, but say, how does this person feel about me? So I try, like, I think that's a great example. You talk about your daughter, trying to just, even it's easy to act, reflexively, but it's a lot more difficult to say, well, wait a second, let me put myself in their situation. How would I feel and think if I was 12 years old or whatever? And I do the same thing with my patients. They're in a situation in the hospital where they're scared. There's a lot of uncertainty. They're not at home. They're taking all these medications. It's just not a normal situation for them. And so I try to put myself in their situation. How would I be feeling if I was laid out in a hospital bed? And I try to show them that sympathy, that empathy, that I'm there to support you, and I'm there to help you, and ultimately that's what matters. That's all that matters at the end.
Yeah, I love that. Because a lot of times if we just make the decision to do something positive, I've got a little sticker on my computer and I look at it every day. One of these days I'll make it into an official sign, but it says, wow yourself today. And I look at that, I'm like, oh yeah, what do I need to do today? And it's just something, it's like those little reminders. You put a little reminder that says smile. Because a lot of times you're like, oh yeah, I haven't really smiled much today. It's just things that we just go through life and we forget. We forget to encourage others, to encourage ourselves, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's key also, these things to kind of, really feel them out, meaning, like when we smile or when we want to wow ourselves, to really have those meaning, have that, have meaning to us, not just kind of like an empty affirmation type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Because there's always those things that, we say we're going to do, but we don't even feel it, so it's never going to happen, you
Yeah.
know. So, yeah, I totally get that. So, I know you wrote an incredible book. Do you have that where we could see it? Because it's
Yes.
such a lovely book.
It's
Oh,
called The Power of Peak State.
nice. That's awesome. Is that a picture of you on the front?
No. My
It should
pictures are
be.
here on the back.
Oh, okay, fine. So
But
tell us about how to get a hold of it. Do you have something to offer our incredible listeners today?
yeah, so actually, they can get the book from the website, which has the same name, thepowerofpeakstate.com. And when you sign up there, I'm actually sending them a free report on how to actually put yourself in that peak state of mind. Because, when I've got that patient dying on me, I've got to be fully activated. I can't make any mistakes. And that, I feel like that state of mind should be replicated in everything we do, anything we're trying to accomplish. So the premise of the book is how to get yourself into that peak state of mind. So that's available on the website. And I've also created a program called Peak Performing Parents, how to help your children get straight A's. So that the information about that is available there also.
Nice. I'll have to pick both of those up. So everyone, please jump on this because you'll definitely want to get a hold of that book, right? Who doesn't want to have some peakness in their lives? And get to know Akram and follow him. You're probably on social media where they can find you there, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So thank you so much for being on today. I so appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
Yeah, and then for everyone listening, sometimes you just do things no matter if your voice is like, sounds like there's a frog there that's about to jump out at any time. You just do things anyways because, most of the motions in life is about doing. So go out today. Don't give yourself an excuse to not, go out and look fabulous and be wonderful and help somebody today, and help yourself by putting on a smile. So thanks, Akram. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Thanks so much.
See y'all all next time. Bye.